And if I could have anyone at that time told me this advice, it would be to get out of your own way, get out of your head, and that no matter what happens, you have to stop focusing on everyone else's journey and just start focusing in on what needs to be done on a daily basis to make you successful. Because it's uncomfortable.
Hi, I'm Gabby Luma from Mod Ventures, and today we're here to do another episode of Entrepreneurship Uncovered. And today we have Erin Nutting from Integrity Insurance.
Hey, girl.
Hey,
Hey.
welcome.
Welcome.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be so fun.
I'm really jazzed about this happening, these pumpkins, all these things. I'm really excited. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I love the fall decorating, and I've gotten, like, this is my creative outlet, and so
I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like I knew that this was going to happen today because I wore my mustard.
I know. We're like, the jewel colors today.
We match. We're autumn. If fall had outfits, it would be these.
That's right.
For sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So, we're awesome. What can we say?
We are. Cheers. Thank you for having
Cheers.
me on.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I appreciate your awesome mugs, too.
All right. So today we want to learn all about you, Erin. So tell us about your business and kind of give us some background as to your journey and how you got to where you're at.
Perfect.
Right.
I feel like there's just not enough time in the day, so we'll make it. I'm a rambler, so I'm going to bullet. So let's see. I have been an insurance agent, a licensed agent for 14 years, almost 15. It'll be 15 at the beginning of next year. How I got into the sexy industry of insurance.
Yes.
I was in a terrible car accident, and my insurance agent at the time, who I'm sure had her own journey in life and going through all of her own things, was very pointed at my age during that time. I mean, I was like 18 years old, so that doesn't date me at all. But during that time, I didn't really have a huge budget for a lot of things. So the assumption was made as far as insurance coverage, what I could afford and what I couldn't afford. I was in a horrific car accident where I had thousands and thousands and thousands, like over 20s of thousands of dollars worth of medical debt because of not having adequate coverage in place. Yeah. And basically having a poor assumption on my behalf of what I did have covered and what I didn't have covered. So I just was uneducated. That was my fault, being uneducated. When that happened, and I went through all of this debt, I said, this will never again happen to anybody else. So what became a JOB, which was going to be me basically, hello, do you want insurance? Hello, do you want insurance? Turned into basically like my life's mission. Right. So I actually started working for what we call in my space a captive insurance company, which is a State Farm. And that basically means I get to sell for one insurance company. And they were amazing to me. I fully believe, as much as I didn't understand it at the time, why they were so routine and so regimented, I now get it. Because on this side of things, if I don't have routine and consistency in my business or personal life, I don't know what I would do. Right. So at that time, I think a lot of this was being young too. I just didn't really understand it. But now I get it. I decided that I was tired of working for a company and I wanted to start working for my customers. And that's where my business came into play. So at 9 months pregnant, I decided it would be a fabulous idea to open an insurance agency. It was not a fabulous idea. Do not make any major life choices when you are 9 months pregnant. It's just, it throws everything for a loop. But
or let's say, a few months after you've had that baby as well. I mean, I did the same thing.
I went over a cliff, and was like, we're just going to build it on the way down. And as scary as it was at the time, it ended up being the best thing I ever could have done. And so now I'm a broker, which basically means, for everyone who doesn't know what a broker's job is, I basically work for the customer. I find the best rates, I find the best deals, I find the best coverages, and I'm not tied down to where if someone calls me and is like, my rate went up or my coverages are limited, I don't have to say, oh, I'm so sorry, this is just what it is. I get to actually go out and hunt for other options for insurance companies for the customer. So that is my journey basically into insurance. It started out as a horrific situation, but ended up being really kind of the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
So since then, I have opened another company that's also, I call it my sister company, which is Arizona Wedding Insurance, and it's a specific insurance company based for people in the wedding industry or for brides. We sell a wedding product. We also do a lot of coverages for people who put on the day. I know, it's kind of neat.
I did not know that existed.
Honestly, what's funny is insurance agents can pretty much all sell this product. Like, I kid you not, everyone has an events type of insurance policy, and I'm one to always promote like brand loyalty and things that you're like. I don't know about you, my kids love mac and cheese. I mean, I don't know anybody who doesn't like a good box of mac and cheese. I say box because I could easily put away a box, but I'm a craft purchaser.
Yeah.
So like the Kroger brand could be 50 cents less. I would still buy. So I really just wanted to create a brand that said the same exact thing, that we were the only people who had business selling this. So I launched that about a year after I opened the agency. Gotcha. And then since then, I do a lot of public speaking. I blog a lot for publications, and I love, love, love working with female business owners, startups.
Yeah.
Oh, such a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy.
Well, because you've been there, done that, right?
It's ugly.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
But it can be fun. Once you adjust your mind frame and get around like-minded people, I feel like it's just it's a whole different way of thinking.
Right. Well, I feel like you have to get really, really comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I love that quote. That's one of my favorites. You do. And I think you have to be willing to adapt. And if I could go back in time or someone could have given me this advice when I first decided, I was standing in the shower at 9 months pregnant when I decided that I was going to go into business for myself. Mm-hmm. And if I could have anyone at that time told me this advice, it would be to get out of your own way, get out of your head, and that no matter what happens, you have to stop focusing on everyone else's journey and just start focusing in on what needs to be done on a daily basis to make you successful. Because it's uncomfortable.
I think that's where a lot of creativity and passion comes from, is realizing that uncomfortableness that you've had to go through, and coming out on the other side, you're like, man, I can do anything. And that's the most empowering and crazy journey of a lifetime. But it's messy. I mean, I'm not going to play.
It's say it again for the people in the back, because messy is, I feel like no one tells you when you go in. I call it day zero. I don't even call it day one. Day zero, because you have no idea what you're doing. You're underneath the trench, because let's be honest, you haven't dug your way out to be in the trench yet. Yeah. But at day zero, you're kind of what now? Yeah. And I know for your business and for my business, we are primarily in a service-based industry. Yes. Where not only are we trying to grow our businesses, but we're trying to keep the people we have happy. Yeah. It's so rare that you work with someone or even get to communicate with someone who has the same retention-based business as an insurance agent, because I think a lot of people don't understand is that my job isn't just to get you in the door. My job is to keep you happy when you get here. Exactly. And for the first 2 years of my business, and I'm very open about this now, but during that time, I did my best to hide it in all ways, shapes, or form. I was terrible at learning that I thought I had a turnkey operation, and I just didn't. I really needed to focus on my processes and diving into keeping people happy through technology, above and beyond customer service that I didn't know how to give because I was in sales. Sure. Salespeople are what is this? I call it Fast Freddy, my Fast Freddy salesperson. Yeah, definitely. I was that person, and I was excellent at sales, terrible at running a business. Lots to learn when it comes to that, and I'm still learning. Well, yeah, I think that happens a lot for business owners. Either you're really, really good at the technical work where you can be that person that's really detail oriented and terrible at sales, or you're a great salesperson, but you can't keep all the different balls moving. Agreed. I don't know that you can. I think in the beginning you have to try your best to do both, because it's very difficult to find somebody else that can compliment you, definitely in the beginning, and share that income and all those sort of things, And that is, and we talk about, I'm really big on tactics, and I'm really big on, I am not one to buy in. I love I want to be 100% transparent, and I love motivational quotes. I love them. This is a girl who has a Pinterest board. I am here for it.
I'm the same.
But I have a hard time when I go and I listen to people, or I listen to them talk, and they don't give me real life how to. Yeah. They want to. I mean, we're entrepreneurs. I typically don't need to be motivated on a daily basis. Yeah. I pretty much wake up and I'm like, okay, let me get my coffee. Here's my day. If I'm not working, I'm not making money for my family. Sure. So, all right, let's do this thing. I love me a good motivational quote, but if someone hasn't lived in my shoes and told me how to be successful at what I'm doing, I wouldn't be here. Right. And I wish there were more sources for that when I first started. But the biggest thing that I really learned when I finally got out of my own way was that I needed to focus on the daily process and what that means for my business.
So, tactically speaking, what is your daily process? Expand. Tell me more.
And so you and I, we're obviously friends, so we talk outside also. But something that we've gone over that's been so instrumental in my life is, number one, you have to take care of number one. And in your business, that's you. And at the beginning, like you kind of just, so wonderfully said, was you're the chief cook and bottle washer.
Yeah, you're everything.
Everything. Mm-hmm. And the number one thing, aside from taking care of myself, is because when you're healthy, you're in the right frame of mind. Sure. You have your routine. We all know, now I'm a creature of habit, all these things. But the number one thing is getting a hold of your budget, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you're...
Oh yeah, you are definitely speaking my language for sure.
You're a numbers kind of guy. But I decided, number one, I wish I had some glamorous reason as to why I decided this, but truth be told, the reason is I just had no money. Mm-hmm. So I had to run lean. I worked out of my home for the first 2 years of opening my agency. I mean, I'm talking in my master bedroom. I had a desk. I had the setup for the first 3 months. I had a baby attached to me. It was just, holy smokes. So I want to say that it was because I had this, now I speak at conferences as a keynote about budget. I probably have no business being up there because I really didn't have a grand plan. I just didn't have any money. Mm-hmm. So at that time I had to learn how to function within my means as a business owner. And basically what that meant for me is I needed a phone, I needed Wi-Fi, and I needed my systems. Yep. So every business is different. We have a very good friend who kind of said this in the last time that we chatted, your business CRM is going to be your end all be all. So whatever that looks like for you, keep it lean and tight so that way you can efficiently service your customers right away. Mm-hmm. So budgeting is huge. You don't need the fancy paper clips.
No.
Just don't. I love them.
Right.
And the pens.
Oh yeah.
I have a pen addiction.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think that you can be like a girl entrepreneur and not like all the pretty stationery and all the things that
Should we take the show on the road to Office Depot? Because that is where that's my love language, is highlighters and pens.
That's so funny.
I have to mention too, I'm a virtual agency, which means that I'm in over 43 states. Wow. But I am digital. I don't have I have an office now because I need an office for sanity, and we'll get into that. But I don't have customers that come in and out. Yeah. So I don't have paper, anything. So I have nothing to highlight, friend, ever.
Well, and I feel your pain because we're a virtual business too. Mm-hmm. And I'm I go in there and I'm I have to make up things to print so that I can actually highlight them. I mean, that's how sad it is. I have to make up things.
Let's send each other stuff so we can highlight it.
Okay, print this and you can highlight it.
I need you to highlight and bold this in a caption. Thanks.
Exactly. Yeah. So definitely the whole virtual side of things. Well, I did not know that you operate in 42 different states.
I do, and we're growing. I say over 42 because I actually think that we're in 45, 46 now. It depends on how many products I have in those different states as to how well I'm represented. Because every state is different as far as licenses are concerned, and the carriers and all of the people that I work with. But yes, we are represented in over that many states. It's been really wonderful. Wow. Because I have a lot of, especially here in Arizona, I have a lot of people who are what we like to call transplants. Yeah. So some people have houses in Virginia, and then they come out here in the summer, or not the summer. Don't come out here in August if you are from Virginia.
August is not
reverse that. They live there in August, and then they come here in the wintertime. Right. So it's been very fruitful for the
Yes.
business to be able to offer it in multiple states.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how Mod operates. And we've had some of our larger clients actually move from Arizona to, specifically North Carolina. And
I love it there.
yeah, it's gorgeous.
So green.
It's beautiful.
I'm originally from Massachusetts. So for me in Massachusetts, I miss that. I miss the greenery so much. North Carolina reminds me a lot of that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So they're there, and we have continued to grow with them. And this is a company we started with back in 2011, and now we're like full outsourced CFO. So I mean, that's the thing about virtual businesses is that you can service clients anywhere, which is amazing,
it's incredible.
And we do live in more of a transient type of society now, where people don't stay generally where they're living for a lot longer like they used to, know. So people are following job opportunities or family things that happen with family. And so and I brought this up in a previous video, I think, but like you're a little younger than me, but you're approaching that age where you have parents that are a certain age, and then you have your kids, and so you're trying to manage both. So we're like the sandwich generation, so there's a lot of things that are going on for us personally at our age group. So, to be able to service clients anywhere is pretty amazing. And it's amazing for us too.
I think, I completely agree with you. And I do. So whenever I work with any kind of business owners, I always ask them, like, what's the average age of your customer? Mm-hmm. And they why does that matter? Why is that important? And it's important to me. It might not be important to everyone, because you have to know who your demographic is in order to sell to them and service them.
Right.
So something that's really been neat, and this is kind of another tactical, if you're not implementing this in your business, this is something to really consider, is video. And I'm not meaning video to sell. I'm talking video to create a personalized customer experience.
Yeah.
So basically what that looks like for me is if a customer calls in and they want an auto insurance quote, let's say they live in Texas. Well, I'm not going to meet with them anyway in Arizona, because business really in my industry is really just phasing out of that because my demographics average age is 37. So for me, video is kind of the way that I communicate, and it's a way of making people feel really special.
Yeah.
And that is, if you're not making your customer feel special, you should just close up shop, because there's no reason for that. And take it from somebody who did not make their customers feel special for like the first 2 years in business. It matters.
Yeah.
It matters. You can grow exponentially. I grew so big, so fast, and was losing people out the back door because I didn't know how to properly service them and make them happy.
Right.
So we do something called Quote Vids, and it's a software that was created by my website development company. It's amazing. They specialize in insurance company websites. But what we do is we record ourselves giving them the quote as if they were sitting right across from us.
Yeah.
It's weird at the first couple times that you do it, because you're like, oh, this is just me reading insurance coverage things like off of the screen and sharing it.
Yeah.
But when we send that, we now have a 97% close ratio on those quotes because of our doing. Not only that, but we get so many referrals because that's what was really strange to me. And I'm a numbers gal, so I really like statistics. I like to see click-through ratios. I like to see where my business is coming from. And using videos to sell our product and service our product at renewals has been very, very important in our business, and has really kept me a lot of clients.
Yeah. Well, I think retention is something that a lot of new business owners are not necessarily thinking about, but the lifetime value of a client is so important.
Absolutely.
And so, like you, I think I did so much advertising. I did, I ran to every single networking group that I could. Right?
Networking groups.
That's what I did in the first few years, because I was basically told that that's the way you're going to grow your business, right?
Especially here locally, because it's like we're like a small big town.
Yes.
And everyone does business with everyone, and it's just wildfire when it goes. Yeah.
So, when I actually stopped going to some networking groups and doing, all the things, my company actually grew because I could focus.
Invest in your people.
Yes.
100%.
So I think, when you're first starting, the benefit of a networking group in the very beginning for me was, I could actually communicate about what I did.
Correct.
Which as a CPA, we're not built-in marketing or salespeople.
Sure.
We're helpers. We're a helping profession, but we don't necessarily know how to speak about what we do.
Right.
So, it taught me a lot.
That goes for like insurance in the same way.
Too,
so I 100% appreciate where you're coming from.
Yeah. And so, but once I stopped running and doing all those things, it was like, oh man, I can invest and grow those relationships internally and start asking my clients, what else can we do for you? Yeah. Because there was so much that's missing. I mean, you have compliance work, but then there's more consultative things, the advisory things that you can do too that adds value to that client relationship. So,
and I think like just real like quick about networking for like anyone who's really watching this and is like, oh shoot, I'm in this group and this group and I'm really spending all this money. There's nothing wrong with networking groups. I just would implore you to really kind of dive back and really put the numbers to what's going out and what's coming in and what time you're putting in. Because keep in mind, you as a business owner, everyone says time is money, but I really think, as much as that's cliche, break down how much you as a business owner actually make. And when I say that, it took me doing that because a lot of people structure their business to where they basically make what the business is making. And I think that is your number one mistake as a business owner. Yeah. And that you cannot take home, or you cannot go into this mind frame of, oh, if my business has a great month, I have a great month. No, it means that you have a salaried, and this works for me. But when you as a business owner are thinking about networking and what your output is, even if that's like I make, let's say you make like $30 an hour, right, as a business owner. So during that amount of time that you're in that meeting that you're not getting something out of, how much money are you losing that you could be putting into whether you're creating a team or anything like that? I'm not saying networking is bad. Networking in that capacity for me didn't work. Yeah, I thought it was a great idea to actually like invest and become an owner of a networking group in my first couple of years. Biggest mistake. Yeah. And the other reason too is that if you are in a position of leadership in a networking organization, a lot of times people don't like to do business with people of authority in financial spaces. Right. Because they're either afraid or they don't want to tell you. I'm sure you as a CPA even feel it way worse than I do.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was part of a networking group and very popular one in town. Same thing happened to me. Like as soon as I went into leadership, my referrals dropped.
Crazy, right? Yeah. Right. It's weird.
It's really weird. And so that's interesting that you brought that up because I couldn't understand exactly why that happened. Yeah. But it did.
I feel like if we were party planners, which can I just say, if this CPA thing doesn't work out for you, we could host a serious Harvest Moon party.
Oh yeah, no, I'm down. That sounds like fun.
We should do that anyway.
We should.
I think a lot of times you just have to pick the right networking for you. And when you're in a digital space like ourselves, it's very hard to do business in a room where you have to be in this space. Yeah. So if you want a networking group and you are a new startup, or maybe you've been in business for a long time and you're looking for some new tactics, if you are a digital business owner, your networking space needs to be digital. You need to create a digital networking space. If you're a florist, those networking groups where you're like, I would challenge you to get niched. And I mentioned kind of Arizona Wedding Insurance. The riches are in the niches, folks. Like that's just where it is. So if you're a florist and you want to grow your business through networking, find groups in your area that are specifically targeted for weddings, or this sounds horrible, but like funerals, like industries. Like these are industries that are not going away. Like the wedding industry is $1 billion industry. That's going to be around forever. Right. So find industries that need your services and speak to them in a way that you do business. I tease this all the time because it's like such a weakness of mine. I stink at doing business on Facebook Messenger. I am horrible. Yeah. Like if you Facebook message me, it's very rare that I'll even see it, but I just my like brain went away with my fourth kid. It just right out the window. So, but it would drive me crazy because I'm advertising on Facebook and I'm like, oh, we're the greatest things since sliced bread and all these things. Email us for a quote. I'm advertising on Facebook, and yet I would get so angry when someone would message me for like on Facebook. I'm like, why is this happening? I don't even like doing business on. Well, it's because I'm telling my customers that that's where I do business by advertising on there. Same thing in the networking space. If you want people to do business with you face-to-face, go to face-to-face networking. Right. If you don't, get in the digital space. So that way they know. Otherwise, it's just kind of your fault.
Yeah.
For telling them to go to the wrong place.
Right. Exactly. Well, you have to tell your customers what to do.
Yeah.
Like how to find you and how to do business with you. And I think that's very unclear, especially in the beginning. I mean,
agreed.
You know, I went from a very like face-to-face type business model to more digital, you know, virtual type of thing, and we had to do a lot of training and a lot of transitioning of you know, clients into that space, and so it took a while.
It does take a while.
Erin, I feel like we could do this like all day long.
I love it. This has been so fun.
Yeah, it's been amazing. So cheers to you for being
friend.
So awesome. And
I have a long way to go, but I will take any support that I have over the time that I have still growing. So thank you. I appreciate this.
Give us a recap of how we can find you, your YouTube, everything like that.
Okay, so on YouTube, the best way to probably search me on YouTube is just Integrity Insurance, and that'll take you to the Integrity HQ channel. And it's got a big giant eye on it, so you can't miss it.
Can't miss it.
The best way to contact me, truthfully, is going to be through my website, integrityinsure.com. And there's live chat features on there, scheduling appointments, those kinds of things. If you want to talk to me, that's usually the best option. You can also follow me on Instagram, too, if you want my personal channel. It's Erin_Nutting.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And so, you guys, if you got like tremendous value, and I cannot see how you wouldn't, please like and subscribe this video and share with your friends, because there's like so much knowledge that was just shared and experienced in this video. And again, this is Gabby Luma from Mod Ventures, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
Bye.